Yeah, I think we kind of started to maybe lose trust in each other in a way.
Hello everyone and welcome to another NLC interview. This time I'm joined by Astralis jungler Taxa. And I just want to jump right into it. Taxa, you spent the better part, I think about 3.5 years on Excel, which is pretty unprecedented at ERL level. Who was the best player you played with in that time? Because you played with a lot of players.
Oh, that's a crazy question. I mean, we work with the main team as well, so it's kind of cheating because I didn't play on team with them. But I'm not sure. There's so many different players. I think it's like some people were like their human skills were better. You know, there's some that stands out that were like nice people, and then there were some people that were like crazy good at the game. I'm not really sure who I should choose. I think like one of the I think I have to say Patrick, even though I didn't play out with him, but he's on the main team, and I looked at him a lot, and he was just crazy good and like insanely talented. Yeah,
Fair enough. Not Orcs. You were on there even when Orcs was there, weren't you, back in the day?
I mean he was such a nice guy. Like he was a good teammate. He was one of the good personal level guys. Like his skill level was not insane, but he was such a good teammate. So I appreciated playing with him, and he was really nice.
Cool. I wanted to just maybe start a bit about that Taiwan Excel, mainly kind of for that reason that you spent so long on there. Firstly, I just wondered what led to you actually being on one team for literally like 3.5 years, because that really isn't seen at this kind of level, right?
I mean, at the start, when I signed with Excel, I didn't really know much about esports. I just kind of came from solo queue, and I quickly started liking everyone involved in the organization, like Ryan and Ferndog back in the day, and Kieran and Joel, some of the guys. Like I really enjoyed being with them, and every time my contract was running out, they saw potential in me and they wanted to keep me. And I just thought I knew this place was good to be. I didn't want to kind of flip it and go to another organization where I didn't know if I was going to like it. So I just wanted to stay, and if I could keep improving and I liked how they ran things, then I just stayed. Yeah.
Would you recommend more players do that if they can? Because I guess a lot of the time they change because it is like 6-month contracts a lot of the time at ERL levels, and maybe they don't have the choice. But would you recommend it if they could?
I mean, I think it can be good to stay one place for a long time because you learn a lot that way, but it's also really nice to try to jump onto a new team. Like a lot of in the time I was in Excel, other players would maybe play for like 7 different teams, and I've just been one place. So I didn't really know how it would be to get into a new organization. So I think it's good and bad. I think maybe 2 years at a place is probably good. As long as you still feel challenged and you feel like you can improve, you might as well stay there, right? If they want to keep you. So
Was there maybe like a bit more incentive once they got in the LEC franchising as well? Was there any talks of you ever getting a shot on their LEC team, especially like you mentioned that, where you kind of referenced back to when the teams were together? I think the first 1 or 2 splits, it was with Ferndog when he was coach. It was like the whole 10-man roster thing. Were you maybe? Do you think you should have got a bit more of a chance up while you were there?
I mean, looking back at it, of course, I always would have liked a bigger chance, but I got to scrim with the main team back then, and we were working close with them. I mean, they didn't I didn't end up playing for the team in the end, right? And obviously, I still have a lot to improve on, so there's probably a reason for it. And I just gotta work harder to get there. But like Excel getting into the LEC was really huge, and I was super excited because I could learn a lot from the main team, and I think I did. And yeah, unfortunately, it was not enough to get onto the main team, but I still learned a lot.
Is that still the goal then? Like overall, still make it to LEC?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal for me. I want to play in the LEC. I'm still working every day to get there, and hopefully, it will happen soon.
Cool. Then kind of looking at more present day then, rather than reminiscing too much. So you joined Astralis for this season, and then in spring, I think it's fair to say it kind of didn't go to plan. What do you think was maybe the issue with that? Like, because there's not. We'll maybe talk a bit in a second about what's changed since, but there's only been maybe 1 or 2 changes in personnel, and things are completely different now. So what do you think the issue was in spring?
So I've been on Excel for a long time, and I was kind of used to doing pretty well and being at the top of the standings. We didn't really lose that much. We lost a bit, right? And I still learned from that. But yeah, with Astralis, we just kept losing. And I'm the kind of guy, if I lose, I want to work harder and I want to fix it. And I think it was a mixture of a lot of things. Like, I think we were hit by pressure a lot and people were really nervous because we had like high expectations, all of us, and it went really bad. I think that influenced a lot. And I think I tried to overcompensate for my teammates, and then I forgot to like maybe focus on myself because I was looking at the games and I saw the mistakes we made and I wanted to prevent them the next game. And then I would like try to fix mistakes that was probably not my mistakes to fix. And therefore like I played worse myself. So like that's for me at least. Like for every player it was obviously different, but in general it was like pressure and we were nervous and it was just really weird. Like I never expected it to be like that. Like I was expecting us to just stomp the NLC, right? But yeah, not sure.
Yeah, was it maybe then like if you say that it was kind of thing, it just I don't know. It kind of sounds like even it was just momentum. Like once it's kind of started going down, maybe heads had dropped, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we kind of started to like maybe lose trust in each other in a way. Like we wanted all to win, but we also wanted to cover for each other's mistakes, and then like maybe there was like a bit of a trust issue. I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure.
Well, then once the split ended, was there even a thought to basically just like implode the roster and make a load of changes if you couldn't really work out what the issue was?
I mean, I'm not sure how much I can say about that process, but
Okay.
we were ready to work with the same roster and improve because we felt like we were really good and we felt like we could get a lot better. And in the end, we started seeing progress and we started getting some wins, but it was just way too late. So yeah.
Well, then obviously there was a couple of changes, and in particular one I wanted to talk about was bringing in Vandetto as the new coach. Obviously, you'd worked with him on Tricked before, and when I think he won the split, right, with Tricked.
Yeah,
And before
we did.
kind of the first time I saw him coaching was like that Miracle with Godsent when they just picked up like a random roster and he was the coach and performed well above expectation with them. How do you rate Vandetto? Why do you think it was such a change when he came in?
I mean, personally, I like Vendetto a lot. He's one of the best coaches I've worked with. He's really hardworking, and I think one of the skills he has that you don't see in a lot of coaches is he's really good at like talking to people and understanding people. I don't know if it's like kind of a psychologist way, but like he's really smart at the personal stuff, and I think that's important in esports. I don't think like it should be the coach's job, but kind of needs to be in a lot of scenarios, and he's really good at that. And yeah, I mean, I think he's just a phenomenal coach. Like he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see him as being like LEC level coach in the future? Because like when I saw him, basically after that Tricked split, that was kind of where I was thinking his trajectory was headed. And then he had the move to Spain, and I thought he'd maybe kick on, which is I guess it was like an unfortunate team there. But do you see him kind of pushing on as well?
I mean, I see him as a guy that will keep working until he reaches LEC, like myself, and it's just a matter of time until we both get there. Hopefully, at some point, maybe he will drag me there. I hope that would be great. But yeah, like for sure, I was kind of surprised with how it went down for him in Spain. But yeah, I'm not sure with the specific how like what happened. But I like him a lot as a coach.
Cool. One other thing I wanted to talk about on that roster that you've got, well, not even just specifically this split, but the last split as well. There's obviously that the whole team is Danish, which is, I think, well, yeah, you're definitely the only team currently that has that kind of thing with any region.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps things at all? Is it kind of everyone, I guess, has a similar, well, not similar personality, but you know what I mean? It's not like someone can make a joke about something that's Denmark related that no one else is going to get. Is it like a more comfortable atmosphere because of that, do you think?
I mean, I think we mesh well together, and when you're all from the same country, like there's a lot of jokes and stuff that goes around that would not happen if it was not Danish people. But like overall, I don't think it makes a massive difference. I think maybe you will like be better friends because you're from the same country, kind of. But like it doesn't have to be the case. But in this case, like we're really good friends, all of us, and our vibe is really good. Yeah.
Cool. Then kind of looking ahead a little bit towards playoffs. So I think this week you just beat Bifrost, and then I'd say they were, until this week, were probably considered maybe like the 3rd best at the moment. So you got, I guess, Excel and Riddle were clearly the top 2. I'd have said Bifrost maybe just behind them, maybe a little bit ahead of Dusty. But now that you've beaten Bifrost, kind of where do you think Astralis' level is right now? I know playoffs is a little bit far away still, but would you be comfortable, against the likes of Riddle and Excel?
I mean, I think if we keep improving at the rate we're improving right now, we will be a new Masters team at the end of the split. I'm really sure we will do a lot better this split than last split.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like our game against Bifrost was kind of a good showcase of how good we are, and like we are even better, I think, in a couple of weeks. So yeah.
Cool. Then I guess it's quite a topical thing today, that literally within the last few hours, kind of looking over at some of the other teams then, is X7's change in jungle. As a jungler yourself, do you see, well, I suppose it's maybe hard to see, before we know exactly who it is, but do you see that maybe the jungle was an issue for them? Obviously, they've been performing well below expectation. Were you surprised maybe to see that happen?
I mean, it's really hard to know what actually is a problem when you're looking at a team, because I think it just looks like everyone is kind of playing bad when you look at them. And that was the same with us last split. Like, it's hard to judge who is like the issue. A lot of the time it can be communication stuff or like leadership in game, maybe some decisiveness, I'm not sure, but I think swapping out a jungler will always create like a big difference. So it's probably the most impactful role to swap. So in that regard, like, it makes sense if they want to make a big change. But I don't know if he was like. I felt like he played fine. I'm not sure why it was specifically the jungle role they changed.
Yeah. Would you still see them regardless as like a playoff contender? I guess they're still technically sixth right now. Would you be surprised if they don't make it in still?
I mean, depending on which jungler they're gonna get, I think they will for sure be able to improve. I think it's late for them, but I mean, if they click well together, they can for sure be a really good team. I think the players are really good, and we'll see how good they get at the end. Maybe we'll meet them in the playoffs.
Cool. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, kind of towards the end of the interview now, there's one thing I wanted to bring up with you actually, just to see if you remembered. I'm pretty sure I was the first person to ever give you an interview. I don't know if you remember. I was running like my own blog kind of website, and it was after the first EU Masters, like the first one. And
this was like a Smite thing, right? When I did the Smite thing,
exactly.
Was that you? Yeah. Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, I just wondered if you remembered or not. So
yeah, of course.
First interview, and now if you get in the LEC, then I want the first one in the LEC as well, and I'm claiming that now.
Yeah, sure, dude. Sure.
Good stuff. Right then, just to wrap it up, then, is there any kind of final comments that you had for anyone that might be listening?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, is it like a shout out to all the Astralis fans, all the Danish fans?
Whatever you want.
Just like, thank you for everyone supporting me through my esports journey. I'm still working as hard as I can to reach LEC, and hopefully, like, we will do well this split, and I will get there at some point.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, and thanks everyone for listening.